Welcome back. Game 3, Battle of Ontario. So, huge game, obviously, for the Ottawa Senators. The biggest game that we've seen played in Ottawa in a very long time. It was Stolarz at one end, Ullmark at the other end, once again. Tkachuk has a rush chance that's blocked out. We get some pushing. Loud fans in Ottawa for this one. Absolutely expected that. It was great to hear those fans as well. Holmberg has a rush chance that's held, and the worst chance of Matthews sucks. So the answer to Brady sucks. I will say this, though. Ottawa fans did not chant that anywhere near as often as Toronto fans did. So either they just went, it's not making a difference, or they're nice. They're like, we got to stop. You can't keep picking. I don't think that's the case. Anyways, teams trade turnovers. The shots are only one apiece at 3.5 minutes. Things get pushed in a hole by Stolarz, so the referee takes one from both teams, makes it a 4-on-4. Marner to Riley near miss. Pinto fires one high. There's a brief press by the Ottawa Senators, and then we get 43 seconds of 4-on-3 for the Ottawa Senators. Batherson fires one high, and it deflects out. Leafs clear, and they clear it again. The Sens then have their power play go offside, so very dysfunctional power play at that point in time. Batherson fires one high on a rush. The Sens cycle, puck's cleared, it's killed off. 2 shots on net for Ottawa during that power play, both the 4-on-3 and the 5-on-4 on the other end of that. So shots are 4-1 for Ottawa at 8.5 minutes. Cousins then has a wrister that's held. The Sens press at the half. Stützle is denied from the slot. The Sens press with 8 minutes left. Tavares has a slot shot that's held. Domi to McMahon. There's a near miss there. Nylander's denied on a breakaway. Amadio then fires one wide on a 3-on-2 rush. The Sens press with 3 minutes left. Domi has a net drive chance that's blocked. With 1:18 left, Brady Tkachuk goes to the box. So Toronto fans were probably chanting at their screen or chanting in unison at whatever bar and pub and all that fun stuff that they're at. The Leafs cycle. Marner has a shot deflect wide. Puck's cleared. It's cleared again. Nyes then takes a penalty at the horn. So it becomes 42 seconds of 4-on-4 to start the second period. But we have a 0-0 tie after the first period as well. Second period, the Leafs press during the 4-on-4, but we then get a minute and 15 seconds of 5-on-3 for the Ottawa Senators. So there's an early cycle. Stützle hits the side of the net. Puck's cleared out. And then at 1:38, during the 5-on-3, Giroux. He puts one past a screen. Sanderson and Batherson with the assists. And it is the first lead in the series for the Ottawa Senators. They're up 1-0. The Sens then cycle. The Cousins shot is blocked. The Leafs kill off the 5-on-4. There's a brief press by Ottawa after. We then get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Cousins has a fast break chance that's saved. There's a near miss for Perron at the Toronto net. The Leafs then clear it out. Teams trade rushes. The Leafs get a power play. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1 that misfires. So the Leafs rush. Matthews has a chance there. That is held. The Leafs then cycle, and they score. Nyes puts one in off Pinto's skate in front of the net at 8:31. Nylander and Marner with the assists. So power play goals by each team. We have a 1-1 tie. The Leafs then look for the lead. Chabot fires one wide as the Senators get some pressure. Halfway through the period, the shots are 6-4 in favor of Ottawa. The Sens press with 9 minutes left. The teams then trade rushes. Tkachuk, limping as he exits, goes to walk off. Whatever it was, I think he just blocked a shot. He walks it off. He did come back. And yeah, he was only gone very, very briefly. It just reminds me why I don't usually write down when a player exits, because a lot of the time they just come back or they come back a little later. So good forechecking by the Leafs. Zub has a shot that deflects wide. The Sens end up drawing a power play. Early cycle, it's cleared. Another clear. Net feed to Greg gets blocked. Cleared out. Power play's killed off. No shots on net for that Ottawa power play. So outside of that 5-on-3 goal, there really wasn't any happiness or any daylight, really, for that Ottawa power play. So Nylander has a net drive that hits the side of the net. The teams trade rushes again. There were a lot of rush chances in this game. The Leafs press in the final minute. Tavares is denied. Marner tips one high from the slot. It's 1-1 after 2. We're going to the third. Early press by the Leafs, and 32 seconds in on a pass from behind the net. It is Austin Matthews right there. Marner and Riley with the assists. So suddenly Toronto has a 2-1 lead in this game. The Leafs look for another. The Sens press at 3 minutes. The goal's the only shot 4.5 minutes in. What's interesting is Toronto gets the lead, and then they just kind of shut the game off. So I did the video for Florida and Tampa just moments ago. And I talked about Florida's defense, and Toronto's defense wasn't entirely different in this third period once they got that lead. The Sens pressed, but they're kept to the outside. Halfway through the period, the shots are only 2-0 in favor of Toronto. So there really wasn't much to put on the board. McMahon has a rush chance that's held, and then at 11:22, on a rush, on what was their first shot of the period, Ottawa gets one. Tkachuk wires it short side, Giroux and Clevin with the assists. So Giroux with a goal and an assist. We now have a 2-2 tie. We have ourselves a game. Tkachuk, not being mocked by fans, gets on the board, and there you go. Teams then trade rushes. Game's opening up again, so we do get those rush opportunities. Both teams defended the rush pretty well, though. There wasn't like a ton of shots in this game. So while there were rushes, they also were defended in this game. But it is more fun to see the game where it's a back and forth rushing kind of playing game. So Sens press with 6.5 minutes left. The Leafs then get some pressure with 4.5 minutes left. Stützle has a net drive that's blocked, and both teams are blocking the path to the net. I mean, you want to get a point, right? Oh, this is the playoffs. So the Sens press in the final minute, but we go to overtime. Now, in the overtime, this really kind of felt like a regular season overtime in that Domi has a wrister that's held. So now you have a face-off in the Ottawa zone. Toronto wins that face-off, and they score. Benoit gets the goal from Matthews at 1:18. So Benoit continues to prove that he is a bargain for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They win this one in overtime 3-2. Toronto leads the series 3-0. The Ottawa Senators are, they're a game away from being eliminated. The one thing I do wonder is, do they come out and play a really good game 4 just to force a game 5? Or are we going to see the Toronto Maple Leafs get their brooms out and sweep the Ottawa Senators aside? We shall see. The shots in this one were low. There wasn't a whole lot for me to report on in terms of shots. 8-7 Ottawa in the first, 10-6 Ottawa in the second, and then 5-2 Toronto in the third. And they had both shots in the overtime. So Ottawa, in the last 21 minutes and 18 seconds, had 2 shots. And that is why they lost this game. I understand they did tie it on one of those 2 shots, but they needed more. They needed something more than they had. Both teams only had 20 shots in this game. Power plays, Toronto goes 1 for 2. Their power play stays really strong. I think they're, 5 for 10 in the series. Ottawa goes 1 for 4. There was a lot of hits. 44-37 were the hits in favor of the Ottawa Senators. Stolarz saves 18 out of 20. Another good game for him. Ullmark, 17 saves on 20 shots. I thought Ullmark played okay. I thought Ullmark had a good game, but it is going to be talked about, the fact that Stolarz's numbers are so far ahead of the numbers for Ullmark. One thing to keep in mind with Ottawa, they're a young team. This is a team that is learning, and they're learning the hard way. The Toronto Maple Leafs look like the veterans out there because they are. So we'll see how things turn out, and I know that there's going to be that conversation of, well, Florida's just going to kill them in the next round. The reality is, for Toronto to get out of the first round, it is a big deal. That's, I think, psychologically huge for them, and we'll see how that does play out in the second round, should they end up facing Florida there. I know there's always that chance that a team comes back from 3-0 down, but I don't think it's going to happen in this case. Toronto's playing really, really well. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comment section below, as always. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. This does feel like the old Battle of Ontario. It does. It feels like the Battle of Ontario from decades ago, where Toronto just won. It's just how it worked. And we're back there again. Thank you guys for your support. I will talk to you again soon.